What was it that made you want to focus on the relationships of these sisters, as opposed to all the other relationships you could have focused on?
I have a lot of sisters now, if we include through marriage, but I grew up with one sister and two brothers, and my siblings are my favorite people in the world. They weren't always growing up, but they are now, and I have always felt like the dialogue between siblings has come really naturally to me because my entire life was just drenched in my siblings. Like when you have three siblings, you're just together a lot, you're talking over each other. So that came really natural to me, especially the sister relationship. My sister and I are super close. And now both of my brothers are married, and my husband has a sister that I'm close to. And I just love that relationship. There's something about it that is so special, especially siblings by blood, right? Siblings from birth. It's like you did not pick this person, but you have to probably live with them for like almost 18 years, and they're going to be in your life for, likely your entire life, and you didn't pick that. And so it doesn't matter like how much their personality bothers you or their weird quirks. You're going to have them in your life. And so I think that's just a really interesting dynamic to play with, because you can ditch friends. Like you can break up with people.
And sometimes should.
Yeah, but your siblings are just there, especially when you're 12. I mean, maybe when you're older, you see like, oh, there's some unhealthy boundaries. I'm going to separate from a sibling for a while. But when you're 12 and your sister is 16 and 18 and y'all are in the same house, you're together and you just need to figure it out. And that was a really interesting dynamic for me to play with. And I just think another thing is the fact that sisters can go from like hating each other's guts to the pits of the underworld, just like I loathe everything about you, to I would die for you right now. Like if we need to throw hands in a parking lot, I am here. Like what do you need? And you can do that 180 in a snap. And I think that's a really fun dynamic too that comes out in the book.
What kind of parking lots are you Wisconsin Badgers at?
I'm just saying, one of my siblings needs me, like I'm pulling up in my minivan.
And then here's, on the surface, kind of a lazy question, but my original idea for the show was always, let's make it the show I would want to be on to talk about my book and make it as comfortable as possible. So I always try to throw this out here. What is a question that you wish someone would ask you about the book that you'd love to answer and hasn't been asked of you yet?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard question. A question that has not been asked to me yet. I would say I really do enjoy talking about the town that the book is set in, and I don't think anyone has asked about the town. It's set in a place called Moose Junction, but it's based off a small town called Boulder Junction in northern Wisconsin. And I picked Boulder because my parents have a cabin there. And it is just a magical place, especially in the summer. And I loved writing middle grade in the summer because you didn't have to worry about the structure of school. You can kind of do whatever you want. Like she can just go do whatever she wants on a Monday morning instead of being like, oh man, she has to go to math class. And this town in the summer, it's like the weather is perfect. The smells are always of like fire and s'mores and beer and lake. The lakes are so clean. They are like crystal clear. It is just such a special, beautiful place. And it was really, really exciting to write about and to have it be very real. I mean, the gift shops I name are all real. The coffee shop is real. The hardware store. I basically just lifted this entire town from Boulder Junction. And I think it adds a lot of flavor to the book because we've had like small town narratives before, but I haven't seen a ton of like up north vacation home type towns and what it's like to actually live in those. Although maybe a Mermaid, like I mentioned earlier, that takes place in northern Wisconsin as well. And that's another great read. So hopefully we're going to have more start to come out.
And as they do, Wisconsin writers that are listening, please get in touch. Come on the show. We'll talk about it. Tell me more about these dangerous parking lots around the state.
Where Claire's throwing hands for her siblings.
Well, there's just one, and it's outside Claire Swinarski's house. We can't figure out what's going on. With the town being so well imagined in your mind, do you foresee yourself revisiting it in future stories?
Yes, I do. Funny you should ask. My next middle grade book takes place in my hometown, which is Madison, but there are some Easter eggs in there, and there's a few references to this imaginary resort town. And yeah, I'd really love to write more. I'd actually also love to write an adult novel that sets there one time. I've never written for adults fiction, but I would love to write an adult novel there. So that's kind of a one-day hope.